Alright guys, we're back with another skill discussion, this time with a class you all know and love. Don't worry, we're not going through the old classes first. Today, we'll be dealing with Ye Old Hero. Pun intended. Now for those who aren't aware, Hero is what's called a successor class, which is an advancement class that allows you to utilize weaponry from multiple categories. Primarily the big three. Something from striking, something from range, and something that's from the tekuniku or magic style. In the case of Hero, it'll be utilizing the big-ass sword, the twin John Woo machine guns, and of course, Talisman. Because if it used any other weapon, it would be a little too perfect. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, as per usual, we're going to start off with the no-brainers. Do I need to say it? Recover in air. Most of these are pretty much automatic. First Blood, I believe, is also automatic, but just in case it isn't, again, no-brainer. Every time you do your attack, no matter where you start off, or if you're starting from scratch, in particular the first, it's an automatic just attack. So, no. It's pretty perfect. Get this if you don't already have it automatically. Hero counter, some people apparently, or at least I think a lot of new people are finding somewhat debatable. But the thing is that you have to ask yourself how skilled you are or how easy it is for you to pull off this. Also, I would just like to point out, it doesn't, contrary to what's on screen, hero counter doesn't just occur with sword weapon. I don't know if you can easily make it out. Let me try to pull my mouse over it, but next to the boot right here is an actual sword icon. However, when they want to denote something can be used by all weapons, they use this little icon of a sword, machine gun, and a talisman on the back end of it. Took me a while to figure out what that was. But no, hero counter works with every single weapon class you have. Weapon type you have for this class. Hero time, because that's the only way you're going to access your strongest skill for your class. Hero attack bonus maxes out 120% and increases the power of normal attacks and weapon action when equipped with a sword, TMG, or talisman. Hero counter bonus restores gear when you avoid damage during hero time. Some people actually just like to use hero time for its initial effect, which increases all attack each time you deal damage. But if you're like me, I'm more concerned with the finisher, which again is on my no-brainer list. Now for the final two no-brainers, because if I said everything on this list was no-brainer, we'd run out of stuff to talk about very quickly. Zero range and long range gear up. But Zax, if I only specialize with the sword, why would I need long range? And vice versa. Well, first and foremost, the weapon action on a hero, for some reason, is Dragon Ball style energy blast. Legitimately, it's a one-handed ki blast volley, or you could charge it up into a giant Shinku Hame Hadouken. No, that's not a thing, but I'm pretty sure most people can figure out what I mixed together to get that word. And even though it's striking, it can be shot at a longer range. In fact, about 3 patches, maybe 5 patches ago, they actually extended the range that those balls can go. Man, that still sounds weird when I say it out loud. So even though your sword will react to zero range, there's a distinct possibility your weapon action, depending on the enemy's length, will respond to long range gear up. Yeah, that still sounds fucking weird too. Furthermore, if you use the twin machine gun, yes, there was a range boost for the twin machine gun, and it didn't just apply to the gunner, it also applied to the hero. But keep this in mind. A lot of the photon arts don't have an exact range you can easily see. In fact, the only reason I know my exact ranges, especially when they've altered them during some patches, is because I've gone to training mode and messed around with the rock bear. It's just inherently a good idea to make sure these two are built up. Because, remember, you only get your ultimate attack once you've activated hero time. But guess what? These two speed up when you get hero time. Increases gear field rate when you attack enemies from a close distance. Sorry. Okay. Now let's get into the preference styles or personal preference stuff. Personally, the first thing you'll notice when you go down this tree is point blank, you get a lot of boosters before you get something that's exclusive to your actual weapon of choice. Also, for those who like to think that, well, you should only use one weapon and the weapon that's the strongest for your class, meta hounds, I say again, these videos are not for you. Furthermore, please keep this in mind. Play the game how you want to play it. I'm not telling you how to play the game. I'm getting really tired of fucking saying this shit. So, with that being said, I'm not going to tell you what is and isn't a good idea. But I do like the fact that you can get a lot of the bloat and bulk of boosting up your class done well before you even get to the speciality stuff. You can figure out where and what you're going to need to get and do. Combo gear up is one of my personal favorites because, well, I know it sounds very cheeky, but once you get out of the habit, and I've seen a lot of new heroes do this, or just really powerful, lazy ones. Once you get out of the habit of assuming that this one PA that says it does the most damage is the best way for me to do damage on my class when it comes to hero, the world is your oyster, and this is your reward for it. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of people who like to just throw their sword in the air, catch it, and then slash and move around holding down the button because it's brain dead. It's easy. There's nothing wrong with that. But remember, the only way to access your ultimate technique is to make sure you have your hero time activated so you can do the hero time giant sword sweep of doom, giant explosion blast with T machine guns, or with the talisman energy ball of death and doom. This helps you build it up. This helps you build it up. This one also helps you build it up. And this one is over time. I would say this is a no-brainer, but to be fair, for the amount that you get, which, well, it's not disclosed here, but I'm pretty sure I can try to find a link to a description and put up on screen later on with the editor's help, the other editor's help. This one, I've rarely ever seen it actually benefit me directly. When the amount of energy you get for the gear gauge is practically, if memory serves, the last person I seen try to stand still and pull this off, it took them about 15-ish, I think, minutes to get their gear gauge filled rate just by using hero gear time gain. I only have this on here because the last time I reset my skill tree, I sneezed and accidentally put a point in it, and I did not care about it. It's up to you if you get this, but this is not something that's going to save your life in a pinch. I fucking promise you. However, yeah, I'm going to need to do a skill reset again. However, hero refresh is that. Consumes 50% of your hero gear, recovers HP, photon points, and hero will, boosts hero boost, and increases attack each time you deal damage. And here is what it is at its max. Effect duration 45 seconds, increase attack power 50, attack power up 999, and the cooldown is 300 seconds. Obviously, you're not really meant to abuse this. And yes, I'm aware my high level bonus should be maxed out, but again, this is a skill tree I haven't reset in a while because I've been playing my alt character who you guys have seen on this channel too. The Xion character is mine as well as Sue. Now, a personal favorite for those who aren't sure which way they want to lean when it comes to the T machine gun and sword, Aura High Charge can do some of the best stationary damage. That being said, you're a prime target. So if you plan on using this because you want to hit from afar, even if you're not using your T machine guns, or you come from a striking or a technical background, by which I mean magic, and you don't even have a good sword, but you enjoy the effects of the weapon action, this can be your little boost up. However, I will say this. You are going to be so mad at yourself if you find out that you're really, really bad at charging this. So, is it powerful? Absolutely. On average, even as far back as level 30 or 40, if you charge this up, I've seen people do 6-figure damage. But you're standing still, whether you're on the ground or in the air. Can your enemy hit you? Do you have the aggro? There needs to be factors taken in before you do this. Also, there is a bit of a just attack to it to get the second stage of it. Now, Aura High Charge has 3 charging levels, or I believe 2. The first one, you'll notice an on-screen indication. And the second one, the full charge, your character will move their hand onto their wrist that's doing the energy blast fire, and it'll release it. However, if you were to do any attack, whether it's a normal or a photon art, and you see the just attack icon show up, you can quickly press the weapon action button, and you'll fire off the intermediate level aura charge shot, not the full version. It also makes a great combo ender. Please remember, weapon action builds photon points in the case of hero sword. So if you jump up in the air, you're low on photon points, start blasting that weapon action button, your stuff's going to fill up real stuff. Each individual button press, if memory serves, is between 3 to 5 bullets coming out of your hand. Now for the twin machine guns, there's, well, much like with the hero, there's really not much that individually is geared towards you on the tree, because I love to say it, but to me, the hero skill tree is what happens when Sega actually wants to make a skill tree that does not know what the word complicated means. It's damn near allergic to it. This one, TMG attack, reduces the photon point consumption of your twin machine gun's normal attack. Now, for those who haven't unlocked it yet, unlike the gunner, the twin machine guns on a hero actually deplete photon points when you do normal attacks as well as photon arts. It is, if memory serves, the only weapon like this in the entire game, and it only kicks in when you're a hero. So when you do a weapon action, what you're actually doing is just recharging, or I guess reloading the bullets. It's weird because you don't actually put a bullet cartridge in. You just spin the guns really, really fast, and they somehow have just start regaining ammunition. Now, if only real guns work like that, everybody named Mama would be either A, Keanu Reeves, or John Woo. Anyways, I recommend this even if you don't value twin machine guns, just in case you get a good one day. This makes sure your damage output is more frequent. Now, this one is more debatable, but it's up to you. High talisman charge keep. With the talisman equipped, temporarily keep a charged weapon action or tech while dodging. Now, this is a very force sufficient ability, and the best part about this, as you can see, it is not main class only, so it can work with other classes. If hero was able to be a subclass, which, yes, to this day, even in the Japanese version, not only can we still not do it, there's no official reason given. However, let's be honest, it's really because it'll probably be stupid OP. It really fucking would. Or they just don't want to spend time balancing it and want to make new classes. I'm not speaking for Sega. The Sega giveth and the Sega taketh away. The Sega gave us the ability to use Phantom, Itoile, and Luster as subs, and they took away Hero's ability to do that. Come Again is more like an escape tool. For those who aren't aware, when you turn on a talisman, or really when you change any weapon category, your evasive maneuver actually changes too. Here's the thing though. Come Again can actually be used, if you stop and think about it, as a almost perfect evasion. Let's say you go into over-the-shoulder mode, you throw a talisman up in the air and it stays there. You have no chance, you have no plans to really use it as a weapon because it can be thrown as an actual attack. You just want it up there in the sky. Well, let's say you get a screen nuke. A screen nuke, well, a description for it will be in the bottom of the screen, no pun intended. You hit that button and now you've been able to dodge things that normal people have to struggle with, or it's a 50-50 if they can accurately do. Because now you're at one of the highest points in the game before the invisible ceiling hits you. This thing, despite people always claiming it's so useless, and this is why I love using it, is one of the best escape tools Sega put in this game. But people don't seem to realize it. You want this if you plan to use Talisman. And hell, you might want it even if you don't, just because, hey, you want to hit something from afar. You don't have good twin machine guns, but you got a decent sword, which can't hit all that far, and you got a decent talisman. Use it. Now, Hero Guard Flash, the original Itoile skill. Reduces damage taken. Do you like defense? If the answer is yes, get it. There's no special thing I need to say about this. It's pretty straightforward. Do you want to reduce the amount of damage you're taking? Here is it at level 1, and here is it at level 10. I rarely die as a hero. And I wanted to try to get more natural, direct, and indirect stat buffs for my hero. Obviously, like I said, I'm going to redo this tree because I don't like that high level bonus only has 1 point in it. I want it at level 5. Plus, the proc rate doesn't hit 100 until it's maxed out. If anything, I prefer the duration change when you level it up. But again, I don't run Sega. All Tech PP save I utilize because I actually do have decent talismans. I don't know, I have unusual, disturbing luck with certain rare drop weapons. So I knew going into this would be a good idea to have. Now, Weak Attack Critical, this one has very good synergy with a lot of S-type aura fixes that are present in the game currently. It increases the critical rate on weak points and techniques matching the weak attribute. Listen to that real quick. Increases the critical frequency on weak points and magic moves matching the weak point. So if I go into a Den of Darkers and I got a light or a fire weapon, I'm automatically getting boosted up by 150%. No extra effort on my part. Fucking love it. Hey, look, I don't utilize Victory Shot just because I don't like the idea of having too many palette swapping going situations and palette clutter. Remember, as a hero, you can use magic techniques. So that means that I could have one palette that's just special abilities and whatnot. Maybe have one or two magic techniques on there, unless we're counting Resta. Now that automatically is going to give me some BS for Victory Shout combined with Hero Refresh and Hero Time. So I just decided, you know what? Let me skip HP up. Let me skip Photon Point up. Plus, I only get like fucking 10. And Victory Shout, so I can get increase all attack power and increase all defense. Now, I've mentioned it before, but I make a point to bring it up in every video. There's a reason why I went for these flat stat buffs. Despite what meta hounds think, the whole primary reason for always trying to buff up my flat stats outside of an armor or weapon unit is very simple. If you increase your flat stat buffs, you access later game content earlier, or you make it easier to utilize in-game content. I like saying later game, but everyone says in-game content, because as I've told people, when new weapons come out, one or two stats are going to determine if you can use them. The strike attack coordinated with the weapon or dexterity stat. So if you're level 100, but your mag has a speciality in a different attack than the weapon you're utilizing or the class you're utilizing, this could be the difference between being cock-teased by your own inventory and being able to do some legit damage. Units, kind of the same thing. Yes, your mag is also an important buffer too, but anything helps. And a flat stat boost that's not on your weapon can go a long way as far as accessing later game content. Hero weapon bonus, I fucking love it. Equipping a sword, twin machine gun, or talisman increases your power, 150% boost. And there's two of them. People like to hate on hero because, well, and this is me paraphrasing in a PG-13 way, they say playing it is brain dead. You can autopilot, press a few buttons, and you could be doing some decent damage. Not to mention, you have some photon arts that have a little bit of super armor, so you could always attack even when you're defending, or your defense can be bolstered and boosted up by that much more. And then there's Hero Mag, which converts your mag's total attack stat and redistributes them into striking, range, and technique. So technically, you got 7 boosters, and it takes literally 1 point to do, and it's 100% conversion. This class is fun. The weapon utilization is unique, still fun. Talisman is debatable. So yeah, basically, hold on a second.
Emergency code crossover.
Okay, so here's the hero skill tree. Let's jump right into it. We got the 3 skills up here. We're gonna take that as the first successor class. The structure of the whole tree is very simple. We can see that here there's like a whole tree branching off here, and then there are all these isolated skills. So let's take a look from the top. Alright, we got hero boost, it's like 80% damage. We're gonna max that. We have hero weapon bonus. We're gonna max this because that's a lot of damage. Hero attack bonus. With these 4 skills, your damage is gonna be increased by a lot. After that, we have hero time. We're gonna take that and hero time finish. The hero tutorial should tell you what they do. It is literally a Super Saiyan button. And then we're gonna also max out all these gear gain skills, as well as these 2 hero time related skills, because they're only 1 point. Also take hero counter, even though if you don't think you can make good use of counter, you still want that gear recovery 20% right here. That's the same no matter how many points you put in. So yeah, let's put 1 point into it. And when you reach level 80, make sure you grab this high level bonus. And when you reach level 85, take hero refresh. So down here we have all these unique skills. We can kind of categorize them. The first 2 here are sword related skills. This one is obviously twin machine guns. These 2 are related to talents, and these 2 are defensive skills, and these 4 are special, very unique skills. Alright, so let's take a look from the first one. This is a sword weapon action double charge. I usually just put 1 point into it first because I don't find myself using it that much, but it's still a very a good skills to have. Or the second one, yeah, you're just gonna take it as 1 point, whatever. Twin machine gun reduces your PP consumption when you are holding your normal attack. I'm gonna hold this off because when you're low level, you're gonna want more useful skills. And here are 2 tag skills. I don't usually use them, but they're only 1 point. You can put your point in there if you know what you're doing. And just like I said with the sword double charge, even though if you don't use them that much, it's good to have them learned. What I do prioritize though are the 2 skills down here, Hero Fresh Guard and Hero Wheel. So Hero Fresh Guard is like 1% damage reduction per 1 skill point you put into it. It might not sound that much, but if you actually max it, that's 10% damage reduction. And looking at the grand scheme of things, it's kinda useful. And this one, Hero Wheel, I'm gonna max it because that's a guarantee you get to cheat death. And with this Hero Refresh skill up here, you can regenerate the Hero Wheel effect. So not only this is a guaranteed Iron Wheel, you also get like a second chance, or if you're good enough to wait till your Hero Refresh cooldown, which has a 300 seconds, you get your third chance to proc Hero Wheel. And undeniably, Hero Wheel is one of the best insurance skills. Next to it, we have all attack PP save, victory shout, weak attack critical, and hero 1 more jump. Alright, so these 4 are kinda unique. I would max out the weak attack critical first. That's 150% crit rate. You can, however, only put 1 point into it. That's 110% crit rate. And that's well over 100. So why would you take 5 if you ask me? That's because there's this S4 that reduces your critical rate by 50% but increases your critical damage for 6%, which is a lot. So yeah, I usually just max it, and then with that overflowing 50%, I can make good use of that 6% damage SSA. So now for all these remaining skill points, we can kind of throw them around with whatever skills you want to take. Like for me, I take this TMG attack PP save because I don't usually bring my hero to bosses because I don't think I'm good enough. However, I do bring hero to mobbing or helping my friends to level up, so even though normal attack is not that powerful on Twin Machine Gun, I still take this because it's useful. And then I'm gonna take hero 1 more jump. Well, you can use your talents to do the same thing, but you know, it's a nice feature. Victory shout, I used it, but I don't really find it useful. All attack PP save, you might be wondering what are the techniques that I'm gonna use on hero. Well, you can use shifter, D-band, rester, anti, Maggie first, that might save your life, you know, Sam first for more damage, all this kind of stuff. And 20% is kind of like 4 PP saves per tag you use. Well, I'm not gonna touch this because I'm personally going to max out the fresh guard first, as well as the counter because that's extra 10% damage on my counter, which I like. So right now you're gonna be like level 80 or something, and you will have the first half of your tree completely maxed out, and then you're gonna pick and choose which skills right here you want. And you know, I'm just gonna take 1 skill here, 1 skill here, 1 skill here, and maybe max this out, and also max this out, and I still got a bit of skill point left. So maybe I'll just dump them into you know, PP up or like all attack or defense. But I'm put a bit into HP and a bit into attack. And yeah, that's about it on the hero skill tree. A lot of skill only take like 1 skill point. They can just grab, snatch and run. The most important things are the damage multipliers that you should take at the beginning, as well as like the hero time and all that stuff. But yeah, that's about it.